I'm Doth Savick, and today I have a review for you on the RIPSHOT. This is a hip holster style bag that is designed to carry somewhere between 4 and 8 discs. I've got it with kind of a loadout I think I could tackle most courses with right here, and I've got 5 discs in it. In each of the first 3 slots I have 1 disc each, and those are each a little bit wider profile, putters and mid-ranges. And then in the 4th slot I've got 2 drivers. 2 drivers is a little bit tight in there, and that might stretch out over time. It certainly is just perfect with 1 disc in each slot. Let's take a quick look at their website here, ripshotdiscgolf.com, and then I clicked on the shop button to get in here. They've got this RIPSHOT available in 4 different colors. We've got desert tan, electric orange. The one I have here is the forest green. On the next page we've got a black one also. And then they have one here that says for left hip, so I'm guessing that they have one that's actually mirrored, and that's what they have for the left hip. But the picture, I guess, is incorrect there. Retail at $34. That's probably the most fun $34 you can spend on disc golf. I really like the design that they've done here with the little bit of elastic at the end of each disc slot. That allows it to keep the disc firmly in place regardless of the diameter. I can put a small fairway driver, and I can also put something like an oversized mid-range like a Comet, and that little elastic at the end of the slot will stretch to allow the disc to go in place. Now, I found that as I'm taking a disc out and then putting it back in, you want to kind of rotate it in place to help that piece of elastic stretch. So I'll put the disc, touch it against the elastic first, and then rotate the disc down in on the other side. It is smoother than I thought it was going to be. Once I got this out on the course and just started playing, I really didn't have to think about it. To be totally honest, I thought that this was going to be kind of cumbersome to have on my hip. I thought it would be in my head, it'd mess up my timing or rhythm or something on my X step as I was throwing. And, I really thought it was just going to feel a little bit weird. I found that I put it on the wrong hip. This is supposed to be for the right hip. That's how it was designed. And that just didn't stick in my brain. I didn't register that that's how it's supposed to be. So when I first got this out on the course, I put it on my left hip and played with it that way. I did, once I realized I was doing it quote unquote wrong, I brought it back out onto the course for some more action, and this time I put it on the right hip. I didn't like it as much on the right hip. I actually liked it better wearing it the wrong way. When I had it on my right hip, it was swinging away from my body and then slapping back in. So I was just getting this, I was feeling it hit my leg as I was finishing the throw, and I found that pretty distracting. I didn't like it that much. On the left hip, it is possibly a little bit in the way of your left arm if you're, throwing right-handed. Backhand, I've been trying to pay attention a little bit what I'm doing with that left arm. I have a history of letting it kind of trail my body, and I've been kind of punching it in a little bit tighter more recently. And if I try to really punch that left hand down, then this bag's in the way. So you have to tweak the throw just slightly, and keep that backhand just a little bit behind the hip, and then it works fine. And that didn't bother me at all. Once I just figured out that little change needed to be made, then I totally enjoyed throwing with this on my hip. As I've taken this out and played some with it, I have been trying to embrace just the super have fun mentality. The last day that I went out to get some footage, I had put in some DX discs that I've been working in, thinking about using them as rollers, a DX Valkyrie, a Pro Thunderbird, a DX Leopard, just some things that I don't often throw all the time. And sometimes having that fun mentality and not taking things quite as serious can work out really well. That went in. I had so much more fun out on the course wearing this than I thought I would. I found that it was a perfect way to bring a few discs out that I want to test. If I've got 3, 4, 5, 6 discs, something like that, that I'd like to get out and learn some about them, I really struggle to do that when I'm carrying a normal size full bag of discs with me. I'll have a few extras in there that I want to learn, but I tend to just throw the discs that I know work well on those shots. And if I go out on the course with just this, loaded up with new discs, then it's like super easy for me to keep track of them and just, run around and have some fun. I mean, I didn't even, one of the times that I brought this out, I didn't even play a whole round. I didn't play holes in order. I was just walking around throwing, and both Lola, my dog, and I, we had a great time. It's just put me in a little bit of different mindset compared with, schlepping out to the course with a, 20 plus 30 disc bag, all this extra weight, having to set stuff down and pick it back up. This was just kind of freeing, really. There is a little mesh pocket up on front here with the little Velcro closure. And that's just big enough that, I've put my dog leash in there. I can put cell phone. I could do my wallet plus my keys, something of that sort. Just a little bit of extra storage up there. If you don't want to, totally load your pockets down with the couple items you might have with you, you can put them in that mesh piece instead. And then on the back, right where the little cushion is at that go up against your hip, underneath that is a little plastic clasp. You can hang a towel or keys there. I tried my keys a little bit and they were just jingling around. It was a little too noisy for what I like, so I didn't use it for keys. But with the weather we're having right now, it's kind of muddy out there. I definitely could see clipping a towel on that and carrying the towel that way. This material is really impressive. The main material on here is a 1,000 denier Cordura, which is just about as rough and tough as it gets. Super durable. And then the belt for the main waist, the waist strap is really, really nice material. I just love the softer feel to it. And it's got RIPSHOT, put right in there with the weave, and a really heavy-duty plastic buckle. I found that when I adjusted this to the right length, it totally stayed in place. I didn't have issues with that slipping. I did have issues with the lower leg connector slipping, and we've got a very flexible bungee material down there, and the buckle is maybe just a little bit too big. The gaps in it are a little bit too big for how lightweight this elastic is that runs through it. So what I found, I could only get maybe a few throws if I was throwing, doing some hard throws, some full power type of stuff, and this was sliding around and loosening. So I had to tighten it up a couple of times, and then I realized that if I just got it as tight as I wanted, and then double backed the tail through the buckle one more time, then it would hold itself much more securely. One thing I found is when I have this loaded up and I'm just kind of setting it down, all of the extra long buckle back there is a little bit hard to keep kind of bunched up and keep the bag together. It doesn't always want to sit flat. I'll have the buckle slide off the edge of my table or desk, whatever I've set it on, and then the bag almost wants to follow that if I don't have discs in there. So I realized that a little bit easier way for me to kind of keep everything wrapped together is to take that tail and swing it around and then tuck it in under the first disc. And that just makes everything a little bit tighter packaged, and I can, you know, kind of toss it somewhere and it's not gonna have the strap go flying off. When I have this on my left hip, all the discs then angle towards my front, and that makes it a little bit easier for me to see them as well as interact with the discs. And that goes for the mesh pocket as well. I think it's also easier to access when it's all angled forward. If I put it on my right hip like intended, then all of the discs are pointing away from me. So I have to twist around further to get a look at them, and then also have to twist further to get the discs in and out. I think this bag is a great option for anybody who's looking for a little bit more simplified fun out on the course. You don't need a ton of stuff to have a good time. Like, that's kind of the root of why most of us are out there, is just to enjoy watching a disc fly, enjoy throwing the disc, and, you know, running around outside and having fun. And this totally embraces those goals. It's so much fun. I like this way more than I thought I would, and for the price, like, I think it'd be an awesome little addition to anybody that's, you know, willing to try it out or thinks they might enjoy it. I'm Doth Savick, and today for you. That went in.